Oh, wait, hold
All right. So this is Alesha and Marilyn, and we are doing our membership, the Ask an Expert tonight. And so I have a question for Marilyn. And so I think we're going to talk about this, which is what do I need to be looking for if I want to hire a grant writer? What do I need to know?
on. Okay. Hey there, Alicia, and hey, everybody out there. I think when you're looking for a grant writer, you really have to look at their credibility first and foremost. And I guess you might say, well, how can I know about their credibility? First of all, do they have a website? Anybody can get a website, but go to the website and look what's actually on the website. All right. Because if they're a credible grant writer, more than likely they're going to have some testimonials on there. Somebody is going to be saying super great things about them. They're going to list the grants, perhaps, or the partners that they partnered with. That's the first dead giveaway. If they don't have that, more than likely and they may not have their icon, their logo there. They may have it in the narrative somewhere, but you're looking for what they have worked on before. All right. Then you also look at a grant writer. If the grant writer says something like, I'm all about integrity. If they say something about like, well, you can just write me into the grant, that's a dead giveaway right there. Integrity is gone, unethical. That is not the way it goes. You pay grant writers for the words they put on the paper and nothing else. Okay. You look for integrity. You look for their history. You look for the fact, and you can also I'm not really sure where you're finding, but you can figure out where in your neck of the woods, how much does an average grant writer make? You can look that up somewhere. I'm not sure where, but I know that in New York, because this higher there, it's going to be more. So, but one of the things, and I know you didn't ask me this, Alesha, but I just want to talk about it. One of the things that I always do is that, and somebody comes to me, oh, another thing that's bad, if they say, sure, I can write about it, and they don't even know they don't even know you, they don't know the subject, they just too general. I have a problem with general grant writers, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because when you're starting to write and stuff, you really have to have a passion for what you're doing. I told somebody, no, I cannot write about, for example, the whales. I don't have a passion for that. So right. You have to be careful of those that just say, yeah, I can write it for you. I really don't need to know this and all, and then be careful of people saying, pay me all of my money up front. That's a dead giveaway. That's scam city.
Yeah.
So, and be leery of these people. And I'm telling you all the bad things. So, you don't want that type of grant writer at all. You want a grant writer that's full of integrity, that is not afraid to tell you, no, I cannot do that. However, maybe I can give you to someone else. You need a person that knows their limitation. You need a person that says, I can get to it, but it won't probably be in time. You need a person that you come to them and say, it's due on tomorrow. And you just told them last week and they say, yes, I can do it. I would kind of shy away from that as well, So, yeah. So that's kind of, I hope it answers your question, Alicia, but I'm really getting into it because I'm like, bad.
Well, red flags for me is not only do they not have a website, but they don't have an email address that has a company name to it.
Yes.
If you have a website, it's not that hard to get a .com, domain email address.
Exactly.
Which means they haven't taken the time to invest in their own business. So right. They're often fly by night people.
Yes. And they're scammers. They're basically scammers. They've had so many scammers since all this COVID-19 money came out. So many scammers, whatever. One of the things that I do when they ask me, can you write this grant? The first thing I ask, is it nonprofit or for-profit? I said, I don't really work with for-profit. Right there, I cut it. It just say, it's no sense to me trying to do it because that's not in my wheelhouse. Do I have someone else that likes to do that? I do. So I refer them out. So looking for people who understand healthy boundaries is huge for me, because you cannot get this done in a great manner, And I'm gonna tell you another thing that makes me so just laugh. You just started up and you want to go for a federal grant. I mean, I'm sorry, I know you didn't ask me this, but I'm like, come on, really? Let's get realistic.
50 hours minimum of work that you're going to have to do.
That's
and
it.
You better know your stuff.
You better know your stuff. It's 50 hours, just a bunch of things that you look at. And so if someone asks me, Marilyn, you can get this grant done. I mean, you can work on this. We got to have it in by the 20th. They didn't even have a sam.gov. I mean, they didn't even have the information, all they needed to even say, yes, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's just wild. The grant world, I call it the grant game, Alesha. It's a grant world, and you have to really, really keep your boundaries up, grant writers out there. Keep your boundaries up. You know how much you can do, and do not just try to do it for the sake of money, please. I'm not counting your coins in your pocketbook, but I'm just saying,
Right.
don't mess over people's children, because that's people's kids that you're dealing with, their organization. Don't do it. So yeah, I'm sorry, Alesha. I get passionate.
I know, and that's good. Another point that to yours about integrity and the general grant writers, the thing too is when you pick someone who specializes in your particular area or sector of the nonprofit world, like homelessness or foster kids or whatever it is, not only are you getting someone who up front understands and knows the problem, probably knows the statistics that you need.
Yes.
But they're also going to know grants. I mean, specific grants that they have applied to before.
Yes.
They have a good rapport with, they've done a good job, writing that grant before. They know what that funder is looking for, and can say, I really think this is a good grant for us. And so they can offer up more than someone who's a generalist, because the generalist not only has to get up speed on your nonprofit, but also the cause, the need in your area. And then they also will have to figure out what grants to even go for.
Yes.
And and you're paying for that time, whether you realize it or not.
You'll see it somewhere.
You're going to pay for that time.
Yes. So I'm with you on that, Alesha. Just get the person who specialize, because as a grant writer, it's only certain grants, that I deal with. I'll deal with human trafficking. I'll deal with domestic violence. Those things are dear to my heart. Just, and that again, right there, Alesha, that helps that grant writer to really be passionate, just as passionate as you are, concerning just that need in the community. That's why you go for the person that specializes, if you will, on your subject, because don't be so desperate that I know I'm gonna get it, just do it, no. You want somebody, because I tell people in my grant writing classes, Alesha, I can tell as a grant reviewer when you've rushed. I can tell when you are just putting words on, because the words will speak, not loudly, not. Right. They do not speak. You can tell it was just something I wrote down, So you want the funder to feel you all the way. Yeah. When you're writing grants, so you cannot get anybody, as they say, anybody lottie-dottie to write for you. You cannot. Right. You cannot, Alesha, you cannot.
And I know there's been some grant writers that are like, oh, we'll just put this down. We can BS our way through this. Yeah. And I bet you one thing, you have a BS detector when you are reviewing grants, don't you?
Oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm glad you said that, because guess what? It goes off a lot. It goes off a lot. And after it goes off, I said, really? Because I tell people, cut to the chase. What exactly are you saying? Because if you take me through the woods to grandmother's house, or do you take me through the mulberry bush? It's frustrating. It's very frustrating because at the end of all that, I said, they didn't answer the question.
Yeah.
And that's
I still don't know what it
I said, and then I have to go and read it again because I say, am I slow? Am I tired? What am I doing here? But grant reviewers can cut through that in a minute and just
Mhm.
say, you did not answer the question. Okay. And that's the number one thing that people do not do well. They do not answer the questions and they do not understand that they're taking a test. This is a test and they're working to weed you out. So don't give them an excuse to, if you can't, and let me add this in, if you cannot answer the question right off when you are reading the RFP, the NOFO, the grant application, whatever you want to, then you should not apply.
Right. It wasn't for you.
It wasn't for you right now. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
And don't do it. Well, we can get it done. No. You're chasing money. And I tell people when you chase money, you start off looking like a duck and you end up looking like a giraffe. Okay. They change everything about you, so
Right.
no, you don't want to do that. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I've always wanted to know what kinds of things do grant reviewers look at and mark you down for, or just totally throw the proposal out?
Okay. The number one thing I think is that, for one thing, let's just talk about the whole process. Okay.
Sure.
The first process is that they not all funders, but they sometimes have a group of pre-screeners. All right. The pre-screener's job is to kick you off from the beginning. All right. Okay. Because they know how much money they're going to give. Right. So if we can get rid of those people at the beginning, we got rid of them. Okay. Things like not answering the question, doing whatever you want to do, having 48 pages instead of 47. Okay. Of course, turning in late, you don't even get into the pre part. That's the first part, maybe. And then they send it over. I'm just talking federal right now. They send it over to us. Okay. And once we start reviewing them, one of the things that I look for, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, at least I go straight to the budget. I go straight to the budget because the budget is going to tell me everything that's in that I hope to see in the narrative. That might seem odd, but that's the way I do it because I know the budget will tell me everything. One of the things that they have us with a rubric or some type of measurement, okay? And then you just go through that and see if that person has the information. Also, do they have it? Is it quantitative and is it qualitative? What type of quality does it, have? And that's just, well, I know that SAMHSA does it like that they're just saying, okay, they got it, but they said Jack went up the hill. Yeah, they got an answer, but it isn't the right answer, so you grade it like that. So mainly and stuff, we have to look through every part of it. And sometimes we may need to look throughout the whole grant and find that answer, which I hate that part. But nevertheless and stuff, we just have a grading scale and we go down there and look at it. Is it there? And how good is it? And that's how they basically look at the grant objectively as possible.
Yeah. Some people I know there's a lot of new people out there that are looking at grants, thinking about grants. They've been told grants will fund me and that's free money. So, I got to get that grant. So would you walk us through the grant process from the organization standpoint?
Okay, from the organizational standpoint, I can put that real clear. You really do need to get a hold of a grant readiness checklist. All right. And I know they have it on Google Me, Google whatever and stuff.
Yeah.
Get a hold of one of those and really take it seriously.
I have one. So if anybody needs one, let me know.
Okay, so Alesha has one. So take it seriously. into consideration, when when you're looking at, we need to get some grant money. And I'm gonna tell you something about that grant readiness. The grant readiness will also help you to make your board calm down. Okay. So one of the biggest things that they don't understand is that we can get some money, we can get some money from grants. Then you bring this grant writing readiness checklist and say, well, we don't have this, we don't have this, and we don't have this. The number one thing that I suggest to people when they start this game is to make sure that you have some type of evaluation going on in the beginning.
Mhm.
For example, if you're going out there and you're doing homeless people, I mean, how many homeless people did you serve? Do you have that number? If you're giving out gifts or whatever, did you have a sign-in sheet? It's simple things like that will get you into saying, we've been doing this for 2 years, and in 2 years, we have successfully fed 400 people in certain zip codes. All that stuff is evaluation that you want to be able to put that into your narrative. You can put that into your narrative of saying, this is what we've been doing. And that's the reason why we think that we should get this grant, because we're basically already out here doing it. And we have the outcomes or the data to show that we have been doing. That's one of the big mistakes that people don't do. They don't have the data in order to even do a grant. So you have to look at, I don't know what's on Alesha's grant readiness thing, but evaluation, outcomes, and things like that. Another thing you should learn how to do is do a logic model. If you don't know how to do a logic model, go to I think it's WW Kellogg's, like Kellogg's cornflakes. Go there to their website and they do a beautiful logic model. Okay. And a logic model is just giving you an overview, and it's going to help you with your need statement that you need. It's going to help you with your implementation. It helps you with your budget. It helps you with your evaluation. It also pushes you almost, and the newest thing nowadays is sustainability. So it pushes you through all that. So I would strongly suggest that you get some evaluative type tools out there. It does not have to be rocket scientists, it's just something to gather that you have been doing the thing already. And so I find that people do not have they don't have it, and please, I mean, I'm a logic model guru. I love the logic model, and the logic model is something that can help you to write everything. And also I heard that one lady, they wrote a bunch of logic models for each one of their programs, and the logic model alone gave them $24,000.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so that logic model is a value, but it will help you to pull out the things you need for your, like I said, your need statement. Everything is right there in that logic model, and it helps you to bring everybody to the table, if you will, so that they can talk about what's going on. Like we want to see X amount of people here, or we want to do this and we want to do that. So it's a great tool to engage the whole organization into what you're doing.
I have to agree with that. And for me, a logic model just really helps you get very clear on the process too, and what's going in and what's coming out. What are the outcomes? What are the things that are tangible?
Exactly, it does. And it helps, because the model is, if I get this, if I get one person put, if I get a 501c3, if I get really good board members, then I can do this. And then if I get that, then I can do this. So that it goes all the way down the continuum to say, in the end, long term, 7 to 10 years, I might have a person, if I'm working with at-risk youth or whatever, I might have a person that can have a job and contribute to society. So that's your goal, but it shows you all the different steps to get there. I mean, I love the logic model because I'm logical for one thing, but I love the logic model, and you use it every day, because if I want to go on a vacation, I need to do what? I need to save some money. All right. Some people say I need to lose some weight, depending on where you're going. But you use it every day, and everything that you're doing is a logic model. But that logic model has everything you need in order to pull from it and just add some language, and then you got every part of that grant.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that we'll wrap this up,
Okay.
and we'll see everyone next month, and make sure that you check your emails and watch for the date and time. It's what, the fourth Tuesday of every month
It's the
right
fourth
now?
Tuesday at 7, I mean,
Eastern.
what time?
Yeah,
7
7
Eastern
Eastern.
Standard Time,
Right.
but you guys need to come on, and you need to bring, I mean, hey, you may be working on a grant and you just need some feedback. I mean, this is a Zoom. We can share your screen and we can talk about it. Let's kick it around, and see some way that we can help you to just get stronger and manufacture what I said, competitive grant applications. So, I mean, it's kind of a really, really loose, informal type way, but we are really willing to help you. If you got any questions or whatever, we're really trying to help you. And if we don't know the answer, guess what? We're not too proud to say we'll get to you,
And,
and get that answer for you. So yeah.
right.
Mhm.
And even if you don't have a grant yet in mind,
Yes.
you can come with the checklist and say, what is this? Or can you take a look at my budget? Or
Yes.
can you take a look at whatever it is that you have or don't have? And let us help you get grant ready.
Yes, yes, that is so important, because guess what? It'll take your headache away. And I'm gonna tell you something about budgets. And I tell you, I look at budgets first. Budgets are what they normally do last, but I would say you need to not do it last. Let me give you a little tip. So, I'm full of tips. What you need to do is do it when you work on the need statement. Do your budget with the need statement. When you work on the implementation, do your budget. It's not the last, it's running parallel with it. Okay. And that's how you make sure that you have a clear, concise budget. And I'll give you a little trick here. One time a person was did not got all the way to the end, put somebody in, and didn't have that person in the narrative at all. And that person was under personnel with a lot of money they wanted to give her, but it wasn't in the narrative. So that budget. So those are the little tips and tricks of what I would tell you if you come on.
Yeah, I know, because you've got such a wealth of knowledge. I don't know if people understand that you have been doing this a very long time.
Long time, 2005, 2003, really. I started getting into the grant world. 2005, federal, state, local, foundational, county, whatever. I love to review, and so I've learned some of the tricks. I'm on the dark side. That's what it is. I'm on the dark side. So I've come on the light side to help you guys see the light. I came on this side so you can see the light and say, these are the little tricks and the strategies in order to make your grant writing life easier and understand some things. So, hey, you guys come back and see us. It's next month, the fourth Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll talk to y'all later, and this will be posted in the hub. My mouse keeps going off. Bye.
Bye-bye.